Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Domenica Guillén. I am volunteering of Geothermal Rising Student Chapter, and we welcome all to this second podcast of the Geothermal Rising. And today we are so happy to have three wonderful students, PhD students of Easygo program with us, and we are going to share a beautiful time with them. So let's start. So we have three students, and I want you please to introduce yourself. Give us a little bit of your background, what are you studying, that very much all. Ryan, can you start, please?
Yep. Hello, everyone. So my name is Ryan Santoso. I'm from Indonesia, and I got my bachelor degree in petroleum engineering from Indonesia, from Institut Teknologi Bandung, Indonesia. And I got my master, the same, also in petroleum engineering. In the program, it's called Energy Resources and Petroleum Engineering in Saudi Arabia, in King Abdullah University of Science and Technology. And then currently, I'm working with the Easygo ITN project, and basically I'm a student in RWTH Aachen University and ETH Zurich. And my research mainly is about the use of the machine learning and the supercomputer in geothermal simulations. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Andrea?
Hi, thank you. My name is Andrea Balza Morales. I am from Venezuela. I got my bachelor's in geophysical engineering in Universidad Simón Bolívar, located in Caracas. And then I moved to the US, where I did my master's in Colorado School of Mines, specialized in geophysics. I was part of the Center for Gravity and Electromagnetic Methods. And after I graduated, I worked also in the industry for a while, also focused on gravity and magnetic methods. That's been my specialty since I've graduated from my bachelor's, sort of non-seismic methods. And now I'm a PhD researcher here in RWTH Aachen University, and in a month I will be at ETH Zurich. And my focus, or my topic for the Easygo ITN, is using geophysics and inversion methods to better image geothermal reservoirs. And I'm working with both Professor Florian Wagner and Professor Hans-Rudi Maurer in a joint doctorate degree. Thank you.
Thank you. Esteban?
Hi, everyone. Thank you for the invitation. I'm from Colombia. I did my bachelor also in Colombia in ETH University, Medellin. I did in bachelor, in geology, and my master degree was in Iceland. I was in Iceland for almost 3 years, where my master was in sustainable energy. Of course, I focus in geothermal energy. And right now in Easygo, I'm working in geothermal reservoir characterization. Basically, I study the fractures, and I'm gonna use some geophysical studies and integrate to make some complex conceptual model, and finally to get some numerical simulations. I am right now in RWTH Aachen, and further I'm going to ETH Zurich. Thank you.
Thank you. So Easygo ITN is the first doctoral education program in Europe, and currently there are 13 students. Can you please share with us a little bit about the process of application? It was hard for you to apply. It is a European program. However, it has students from all over the globe. Can you please share us and motivate more students to try to search for programs like this? Or because geothermal energy is not quite known by everybody. So I think this program is really interesting, and even though there are 13 students, it's a good initiative. Can you please share it with us, Andrea?
Yes. So this program is very unique. It's part of one of the Marie Sklodowska-Curie actions, and we are fellows in this international research network. And the idea was to recruit people that were in positions that were outside of the country where they're destined to be. That was one of the conditions, to really make this program very diverse and have the early career researchers experience doing some research in other countries apart from their own. So that is why there's so many people from different countries working here in Europe. And application process was exciting, at least for me. I saw the call to apply, and a lot of my friends who knew that I was looking for a PhD program in geothermal also sent me the news. And there were 13 topics to pick from, and they were all very, very interesting. And we could pick a maximum of three topics, and then order them in priority on what we wanted. And I started really following all of the professors and everybody involved in the project. And the first video I saw was of Maren Bremme, who's our project lead, our PI. She gave an interview in like a YouTube video that was also related to geothermal. And by the end of the application period, she said that there were 1,500 applications for this program. And my jaw dropped. I said, there's no way that I am getting a spot in this program. And yeah, then I got an email for one of the positions that I applied to, and asking for an interview. And I was super excited, and I did my interview, and it all went great, and I was grateful enough to get a position here.
Wow, that was amazing. How many did you say? 1,500.
Yeah, around that.
Okay.
For the 13 spots, they were 1,500. So there were some spots that got 100, some that got 50. It varied. But just to have that amount of people fighting for a place really was, yeah, it looked like it was a competitive program, and because the projects were so interesting.
As Andrea say, I didn't expect that. I mean, when the Mandarin said that, it was like, whoa.
Maybe adding on the top of what Andrea already said, it's like this geothermal. Yeah, I know that geothermal energy is kind of like a rare program, right? Like, and then no one really knows it well about this geothermal energy. So when the first time I read the call, it was like, wow, the motivation behind this project is really, I mean, it's really great. Like, they want to, first of all, they want to educate us. And second of all, they want to kind of like find a way to operate, how to operate geothermal safely and then more efficiently, so that basically we want to share this knowledge to the world. I mean, like, yes, this is a European program, but our vision is we want to share this knowledge, what we are researching now, so that the world knows that how we can operate this geothermal safely and more efficiently. And then the most unique part of this program is the joint doctoral program. So basically, like, there are 4 universities. Like, to me, like, it's really 4 big universities in Europe: RWTH Aachen, TU Delft, ETH Zurich, and Politecnico di Milano. So these all 4 universities working together on this project, and then we can get 2 degrees from 2 different universities. And basically we work on, basically we are complementing each other. All of us 13 students, we are complementing each other from the bottom, I mean from the subsurface part till the surface part. So that's really amazing integration of knowledge.
It is, and I believe the pressure, or I don't know how to say this, but you are the first generation of geothermal scientists sort of in a congregation that will end up in a really good process. So how can you deal with this, I don't know, pressure, or how can you describe yourself once you finish your doctoral degree? It is quite complicated, but can you please tell us about that?
I can start first, maybe. Yep. So like, first of all, like at that time when I applied this project, I was like surprised that, wow, PhD degree, but it's not just one single PhD, it's 2 PhD degrees at one. So we work on one single project with 2 PhD. And then for me, that's amazing and quite crazy, that's for sure. And then then the second thing is that the topic. It's really interesting, but once you jump into it, now we have been staying here for almost like 1 year, most of us, like for almost like more or less 1 year. And then we know that actually those topics are not that easy. It's really challenging. It's not that easy. And but we have so many advisors that supports us, and we are like family helping each other. And then let's say once I graduate from the doctoral, I mean from my doctoral studies, so one word that I would say about myself, hey, I got my PhD, and it's double degree from RWTH Aachen and ETH Zurich, and it's about geothermal energy, and this is a good source in the future, but it's a good source in the future that can help the world to combat the climate change. So that's really the point that I want to raise. So use geothermal energy because it's a clean energy and it will help the world to combat the climate change.
I would like to say, like, more than pressure, like, kind of it's challenging, of course, but I think I'm sure that I can talk about, for everyone in this project. Like, we are so excited to be part of this mission about this transition of the energies. So it's not like we have like of course we have this PhD, but I don't know, it's like we are learning, we are like applying, like Ryan said, we are like a family, we're cooperating, we are all communicating. That's awesome, because when we started the PhD, we were not alone. We've never been alone here. So when I have some questions or concerns, could be like academic, even personal, I can contact with them. So it's very nice. And after that, of course, I would like to stay in the divulgation. Of course, I would like still encourage the students to come from this kind of program. But the idea, like, working in the industry, of course, be part of this transition, and maybe who knows in the future. But for now, we wanna use all our tools and we have in this program all this advantage and apply for the improve ourselves and be our best version of geothermal experts, I think. I don't know, Andrea, how I'd like to complement this.
Yeah, I was gonna say that it really helps because to have a group, because as you said, expectations are really high. This program is designed very well and really gives us a lot of tools to meet and exceed the expectations, really. And the fact that it's, as you said, a conglomerate of scientists really helps, because I feel we are all on the same team helping each other. There's very different topics still. Well, some overlap, But generally, they're different topics. They go from geochemistry to geology, reservoir engineering, geophysics. But we're sort of all in the same team of we're going to all finish this together, no matter what. And we push each other to be better in our own topic as well. And for the future, I really don't. I don't know what the future will bring after this. But one thing that's unique about this program is also we have industry partners, and that was something that attracted me to also apply. We each have a stay as an internship or sort of a research day with a company that is associated to geothermal production or monitoring or exploration. And in my case, I have a 3-month stay at a consulting company, and then another 3-month stay like at a big research firm here in Germany that focuses on geothermal energy. And that to me is super exciting because it shows you also the side, this commercial, more in the industry side of things, and it gives you a peek on what it would be if you were to work in the industry in this field. So yeah, I haven't started my internships. I think Ryan can give us a little more on what that has been for him, but it's definitely something unique that this program provides.
Thank you for sharing your experiences. I think the beautiful aspect of geothermal energy, and also the scary part, is that we need scientists and technicians from all the branches. Geology needs geophysics and a hydrologist, modeling part, even the social society part. It's fundamental, and the fact that the students are studying different aspects of geothermal gives you strength. Like, as you said, everybody can help each other. And by the end of this program, I see a really good future and really good results. A question about future students, or do you think this program will receive more students, or these 13 students will graduate and eventually another call will open, or do you know this kind of information?
So as far as I know, this is it's a one in a lifetime program, as Maren said in her words. But I'm sure that programs very similar to this are opening up in other parts of the world. We always see also in Europe and in the US that these joint or group-oriented programs are becoming more popular because of the natural collaboration between some universities, and also because geothermal is the research is very much needed and is starting to be applied. So these programs will definitely be similar programs like this will be available.
Yeah, I would like to say, like, actually the last year I saw a program called Improve, and also related with geothermal, and also was funded for the European Union, and was very similar networking. It's not like two PhDs like this one, but anyway, this is a lot of universities, and also some research partners cooperate each other. And basically, this Improve program was focused in Iceland and Italy, but I mean, maybe. For our part, Easygo ITN, we don't know what gonna be the future another program like that, but at least in European Union is still like looks like it's going, and more projects is coming, and eventually geothermal getting more attractive in this last year. So we expect, I don't know, maybe I'm also a little positive, but we expect more projects.
Thank you. So it's really impressive. And Geothermal Rising Student Committee. I speak in part of them. We congratulate you all because these 13 students inspire us to keep going, and we wish you the best for the future. And thank you so much for being here. I am really happy for having this experience with me right now. Okay, changing a little bit of the topic, can we please start speaking about the edition, the 33rd edition of the European Geothermal Ph.D. Days that are going to take place in April. How is the organization going? What are the expectations, the challenges? Please. Ryan?
Okay, I will start. So basically, EGPD is, I would say it's kind of like a sort of like a conference. It's by students and for the students. So what we want to do here is sharing among the PhD students, like mainly geothermal related students, PhD students in Europe. But this year we are not only limited to the geothermal PhD students in Europe, but we are reaching out to the other part of the world. And EGPD this year is going to be in Aachen, and basically it's going to be like 2 days program and full of sharings, and we will also invite several keynote speakers, and they are really a big keynote speakers, and they will speak like a lot of things, starting from the general landscape of geothermal, what is geothermal and how big is the resources in the Europe and in the world, and how impactful is geothermal, and then going to more details topic about like how to properly model or how to do inversion or what is the geology and everything. But the point is that we want to share among the students, and we want to improve our knowledge, so that maybe after you discuss with the other students, you can grasp a new idea and that you can implement in your PhD thesis or even in your publications, or you can even go for networking event, which you can start a collaboration with the others. Maybe Andrea can add at the top of it.
Yeah, I participated in last year's EGPD, which was online, and it was really interesting because it was a conference organized by students, so it's very like customized to what students would like in these types of conferences. So there was a lot of sharing, a lot of time for questions and collaboration, and it wasn't as stressful as thinking it's like one of those big conferences where you have to submit this paper that's I don't know, it's a little more intimidating. This is more for research collaboration. We've received approximately 60 abstracts. Our call for abstracts ended in the 31st of January. And yeah, we're really excited to host PhD students around the world or around Europe specifically, that are focusing their research in geothermal. And as Ryan said, there's more detailed topics. We also have topics on operations in geothermal, and even we also have some of this like miscellaneous or different assortments of topics in geothermal that focus on like community acceptance and things of this sort. So yeah, it's very exciting, and expectations are high as well, because other EGPD days have been really well attended, really well organized. So we'll try to do our best to host them here in Aachen.
Last year, who was organizing this EGPP?
It was the people in France, from the University of Clergy, I think. I'm not sure. And then they were in partner with another. yeah, with another university.
Okay, so this year you are hosting, or what also, like, organization, what that does that imply? You have to
Everything.
Oh, so the other year the program is changing organizers. I didn't hear about that.
I would like
Yes.
to complement that. The last year was Switzerland University of, I don't know, Neuchâtel, in Paris University, like Sergi Paris University, if I'm not bad. And right, every year the idea is like changing different country. I mean, different, yeah, university made the proposal. Actually, this year we sent the proposal to the last organizers, and also university, one university in Scotland. I don't remember, but probably they're gonna take
Dublin,
the next
yeah.
year.
Yeah.
That was
So the idea.
like.
And before you accept to be the organizers, you received a feedback, or there is some mentoring before you are in charge of this program? Because I'm thinking about the feedback, and because the problems and the challenges that you are having is likely that it's helpful for the next group that is coming next. How is this process of mentoring and
Yep. So yeah,
having
I
this
will
feedback?
describe it like so basically like so the organizer it's from different university for each year, I guess. For each year it's different universities across the Europe. So for example, like last year it was in France, this year it's us in Germany, and it keeps moving to different universities across the Europe. And then the idea was you send a proposal to the previous organizer, and then let's say if at that, like what we had before, like there were two universities, like the one from Scotland and us, and we try to compete, like what will you bring in that conference, for I mean the next conference, what will you bring there, and then like what kind of new things that you can bring there. And then I mean the previous organizer will sort of like decide which will be the best organizer for the next conference. And then currently now they are basically also helping us. They are talking to us and about like how big is the funding that they spent in previous year, and then how could they manage everything, and what was the challenge in the previous year. So they talk everything. Yep. But again, everything now depends on us, right? So we are the current executor. So we have to deal also with our own problem, which is like it's totally different with last year. Last year it was an online program, and this year we want to make it as an in-person program, and it's super challenging, especially in the Corona time. And in Germany, around this year, the Corona regulation is getting tighter and tighter. So yep, until now, like we are still thinking that how we should approach this better and how we can organize this event better than next year, better than the previous year.
Yeah, as Ryan said, that the previous year they gave us a lot of help and tips, but it was all online, and so the format is completely different. And for them, it must also have been a challenge because it was the first online EGPD that they managed to organize. And for us, it's now a challenge because we're still hoping for an in-person event, but regulations can change rapidly, as we know. In COVID times, we have to improvise if something changes.
I imagine there are many things that you have to handle. For example, the agenda or the guests. I was taking a look about the page that you send us, and the speakers tab is not set up yet. How can you organize that? There are sub-teams that are in charge of different areas, communication, and also I see also a tab where you can see the location that you can rent for these days. There are grants that students can apply to travel, or how is also that?
So I will maybe talk about the organization part. So yep, basically all the teams, there are 3 big teams there and 1 other. The title is other there. So basically, so everything that is quite close to the geothermal, but it's out of that 3 big teams. So all those 3 teams were decided based on our research. So that's basically the idea. So we have basically, yeah, we have 13 topics, but those 13 topics, we can squeeze it to 3 big teams, like starting from the geology part, which is the imaging part, and then the second was the modeling part, and then the third was about more to the geochemistry and the operations. So that's how we decided on the topics. And for the speakers, yes, we already got some speakers, but now we have basically we still not sure about the format, because we are still currently following the regulation, the changes in the regulation. So we haven't been decided. We haven't decided yet at what will be the format. So we are still not sure about the the progress of this event, what's going to be in April. So let's see. And maybe Andrea can add at the top of this one.
Yeah, I think you asked about like the organization. As you see, our website was also created and maintained by David Naranjo, who's also in one of the organizing committees in Easygo. So we each have tasks to do, and we try to communicate our best and work as a team to make it all possible. There are people that are in charge of the advertisement, people that are in charge of the schedule, of the keynote speakers, and of the funding, which is also a big part. And so we try to distribute these tasks accordingly. And you know, we are all also busy with our research on top of this. So it's definitely been a challenge, but I feel that it's going to give us some really good skills to have in the future if we ever want to organize or help organize a conference. But yeah, the speakers, we're in process of confirming them, and they'll soon be on our website.
Regarding the grants, do you have some funding for travel grants or bringing someone to the conference?
Yes, actually, we really encourage that, and we really expect the people, some students. We already know we are students. We know sometimes we don't have this budget to go a conference in another country, so we really encourage they apply, and some of them apply, and the idea, like, of course, hell, these are priorities actually, more bring the students to here. So yes, we have grants, but backseat is just ask, like always, just ask. I think a lot of people really get shy or don't think, no, I never get that because I don't know. But it's just about to, yeah, curious, like, okay, I can go for myself, but maybe you don't have nothing to lose. Just a mail. I don't know if one of them want to say something.
And what is your favorite topic that do you have in these PhD days? Do you have something that really calls your attention, or something specifically that you are hoping that will be great? Am I clear?
The social event. No, Joaquin, I think this is a hard question. I think the most exciting part for me is like bring everybody together in the networking. For me, this is my main interest. But top in general, I don't know. Andrea, help me, or Ryan.
I just think we're biased because the topic that I'm looking forward to is the one that falls into my topic. So we're biased.
Yeah, it's not fair.
Yeah, and they're just all very, very interesting. And as Esteban also said, the networking part, in part of the Easygo is also to have training weeks each year at the different universities. And we had our first training week back in, was it September? No, August?
Yes, it was in September.
Okay,
Yes.
at TU Delft. And it was an amazing week, and just having the 13 of us that we can see each other in person for the first time, and the industry partners and the professors, only that small group of people, we got a lot out of it. And there were a lot of discussions on what we can do for our project. So we want to have that same energy and feel here at the EGPD, because we are such our topics cover a wide range of geosciences and geothermal, that we want to sort of replicate it into this conference. But yeah, I think I'm a little bit biased to say that I want to see advances in geophysical methods for 3D modeling.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe for me, like, I'm also biased because I love modeling. I love modeling, especially the uncertainty modeling, because that's my research topic. So for sure I'm biased. But my point is that we are also here bringing the keynote speaker, which are the really famous guys that, and then knowledgeable guys that you can learn a lot from them. So what we do want for each of our participants in this conference is to have like improved knowledge after they finish this conference. So that's what the first thing that we want for each of them, and they can talk to these big professors, to the big keynote speakers, and get a lot of things, even like maybe a job, maybe a vacancy or something. Yeah, it's also possible. That's the first thing that I want to mention. And the second thing is that we also here in EGPD we will have like a kind of like a field trip to several places in here close to Aachen, especially going to the geothermal, more like geothermal research lab, and then a bit to the geothermal site. And we also want you to see, what you want to see, what we have here in, especially in Germany, to support our geothermal research, and how's basically the vibe, the vibes in this country about geothermal.
Oh, thank you for sharing this. I really am sure about this conference will be the biggest event in the year about geothermal, because it pictures very well organization and organized by you that are with this passion and encouragement and energy to start. I think that will be great. We are almost finishing this podcast, and for a final idea, what will be your message for the students and the people that are listening to us about geothermal energy, and 3 ideas about geothermal energy, about getting a PhD, about the study area that you are passionate about? It's not necessarily geothermal energy, but just for having or for giving students this inspiration, or for telling them that do not give up in the topic that they love. And the third idea about inviting people to join, not to this EGPD that is going to be soon, but for the next ones. And can you please, each of you, give these three ideas? Thank you. Ryan, we can start with you.
Yeah, maybe I can start. So this is for my closing remarks. So first of all, like I do believe that geothermal is our solution, currently our solution for the transition, for the energy transition from the fossil fuel to fully renewable state, to the renewable state. So geothermal is a clean energy, and geothermal does help us to combat this climate change and to fulfill our energy demand. So that's what I do believe about geothermal. And yes, it has so many challenges in the implementations in the industry so far. Yes, so many challenges, like for example, especially related to my research, we look at, for example, the induced seismicity that we have been seeing so far, let's say in the US or in the, I mean, in Japan or in Korea, like it's happening. The induced seismicity, if we don't manage it carefully, it's happening. So yeah, I mean, the point is that geothermal will help us to fulfill our energy demand in this transition period, and at the same time, we need to be we need to enhance our knowledge so that we can manage the implementation of this energy, the use of this energy well, and among our society, and then like we make sure that it is safe and it's profitable for the industries. That's my point. And then what's so interesting about my topic is basically my topic is the use of big data, uncertainty modeling, and combining with the geothermal simulations. So yes, now the industry is going to the digitalization era. So the use of big data is now, it's like it's a must to learn. Basically, it's a must to learn. Almost we can say it's a must to learn. So it's so basically it's very exciting. It's very exciting topic about this big data, how to combine big data and this geothermal simulation, and it does help the simulations. So if you know the knowledge of the big data, and then now the industry is going to the digitalization era, this big data, the knowledge of big data will help you to do the simulations and to basically give like a better predictions, because we love predictions. We do numerical simulation, we love predictions. So yep, it will help you make a good prediction with this big data. And for the PhD things, so first of all, like PhD is a place where you can be crazy. I mean, I'm saying it, you can be crazy. So you can be super wild with your thinking. You can be super, I mean, like, I would say like inhuman with your thinking, because like you can explore anything in your PhD, and that's what you cannot do when you are in master or when you are in bachelor, because in bachelor you only learn under your professor. The professor teach you A, and you will say, oh yes, that's A. In your master, okay, your professor say A, maybe you can do something with A+. But in PhD, your professor say, A, I can do C. So that's what makes me so interested in doing PhD. So basically, if you love research, or if you want to be the super expert in your field, so do a PhD. It's interesting. Thank you.
Thank you so much. As told you, I just graduated from my master's in this December. So I am in this transition of getting a job, getting a PhD, not sure what I'm going to do in the future. So thank you so much for this inspiration. And I am sure I am not the only one in this stage of decision. So thank you. Can we please continue with Andrea?
Yes, totally. It's for me it was a bit different. First, talking about the PhD, I was in the industry for a long time, and I got my master's and I graduated. And because I was working while I was doing my master's, I thought that a PhD was going to require a lot more effort and focus. So I didn't want to start it right away. So I finished my master's and took some time to think. which PhD would be worth the effort, to do so much work and sacrifice so many hours of sleep. And I think once you see a topic that you see yourself really pushing through and really interested in, you would know. It happened with me when I saw the title of the topics that I was interested in this network, and it was a great fit once I got to know more about the professors and everything. And as a geophysicist, talking to the geophysicist out there, sometimes we, especially in a country like mine, Venezuela, that has decades and a long time depending on oil, that we think that geophysics is tailored and customized to petroleum exploration. And it's really easy to fit into that mold and to just study that part of the application. And as a geophysicist, I feel we have that advantage where we can apply all of our methods to different things. There's hydrogeophysics, like near surface geophysics that study environmental applications, and now there's more use of geophysics towards geothermal explorations, which is something that my topic is focused on. So yeah, I would invite people to think, what am I good at, and what is I guess my tool, and how can it be applied to geothermal? There are many ways that, or many needs that geothermal development, monitoring, exploration, production, there are a lot of applications, and sometimes we think that we're stuck in this industry, and your tools and your knowledge can be applied in others. So yeah, I invite people to research more on how their expertise can help any part of geothermal energy.
Oh, thank you. As you know, geothermal energy path is just starting. So I think young generations, we are in charge of exploring and hoping that path to see what is next for the next generation. Can we please continue with Esteban?
Well, I would like to start also with the PhD question. I think for me, like, your idea about PhD, destroyed. Every researcher, every PhD experience is different, I think, for everyone. My idea of my PhD was totally different. Of course, yeah, the only thing that we know is like the stress of working a lot of work, but could be different. I heard different PhD, like since the funds, like the lifestyle, war, advisors. So please don't rush. I think the best idea is looking for a project that you're looking feel very attractive for you, or you make the proposal. But don't. I think the best thing is like don't rush, don't feel the pressure, society education pressure. Just go your way. And let's check where you're going. I mean, what university and what is your project about it, the funds and everything. This is my first thing. I think it's very encouraged when you're like fit, when you like feel like you fixing this, what are you doing. But I can understand when I heard somebody like frustrating, even something that you like it, because maybe you can feel like stang or whatever. But this is about the life, no? Not just in the research. You're gonna feel in the moment you can touch the bottom, but you're looking the way to stand up and continue. About the geothermal, also remove the idea. It's because like a lot of people are still thinking the geothermal like the 80s. We just need very conventional geothermal, but with the new technology, research advances, geothermal right now is vastly everywhere. Of course, different like more like different technology we're gonna need it, but we can vastly with looking and get this kind of energy or heating from a lot of places. So right now, geothermal, I don't think is the future. I think it's like the present with together with another renewable energies. And as you say, Dominica, we right now this generation is like, because the other generation of course made a amazing work, but they were very few, and we still a few actually looking this research. But right now it's getting more popular, more attractive. A lot of people start to hear more about geothermal. This is amazing. We expect more projects in everywhere, not just in Europe like this one. So I'm quite excited what we're gonna expect us for in the next I don't know, even the 10 years, what is happening with this geothermal move. So this is my concept about geothermal. And the last question I did DP, but I mean we expect you enjoying, and we in the future extend for more students, not just PhD. Because I think actually before was very niche, the geothermal we just mentioned, but right in the future maybe I don't know, maybe master could like participate. Actually, it was frustrating because I remember when I was in the master, I saw this PhD days, but I say I'm master student, I can't go. But I hope in the next year, in the next PhD days, the master could also participate. And also I would like to add about the PhD, a personal story. When I finished my master, I didn't want to do a PhD actually. I was so exhausted after my master thesis, say, okay, I'm gonna take a break. And I just checked in internet in a magazine, and I saw this proposal. I read the project, say, okay, no, I need this project. So yeah, this is the thing. I mean, that happens. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Your energy is amazing, and I wish you the best, not only for April, that is the AGPD, but for your entire program. You have an amazing future, and with geothermal energy, we are growing up as a community. There are a lot of groups of geothermal. Geothermal Rising is one of them, but also Women in Geothermal, International Geothermal Association. In different countries, there are their own geothermal association. So I feel that we are in a good path, and I thank you so much for this time with me and with the Geothermal Rising Student Committee. That's all. Looking forward to meeting you all in the future sometimes. Thank you. Goodbye.